Hey guys, sorry it's been so long since my last video, but my camera decided to take a little swim on a duck hunt I was trying to film with my older son Hunter. So the lens got destroyed. This is the camera that got submerged, and it's working again thanks to my IT guy Nick Lambert. I went down to the camera shop the other day and got a new lens. I did try to film through the old lens on a video, and it's just pretty cloudy. Kind of looked like we were in a smoke-filled room. So anyway, this is my first video on this camera since it was submerged, and it has a new lens on it. And so I hope it's coming out alright. But I wanted to make a follow-up video about the Hyliion stock in the company. The last video we discussed the differences really between the Hyliion solution and the full EV truck solutions such as Tesla is going to be offering. And I just wanted to follow up on that. I think I made a pretty good argument as to why the Hyliion really is the dominant, better choice for long-range trucking. Now, short hauls, the Tesla truck is going to be great, and but I think just recently Hyliion made a new announcement, and I'd really suggest that you watch the interview by Thomas Hyliion that was just recently rebroadcast by JMac. I just happened to come across it on JMac's channel. He's an investor, has his own YouTube channels, JMAC. And he played the Thomas Hyliion interview, and there was some really good, interesting information that was brought forward there in regards to battery technology. And if it turns out what he said is true, which I'm sure it is, or he wouldn't say it, I think Thomas is pretty believable and trustworthy. Seems like a pretty straight-shooting type of guy, unlike some other EV truck company representatives we've seen of recent times. But I believe from what he said, if it's true, his batteries are going to be able to not only travel further than other battery technologies now, but recharge much faster. He's talking 8 minutes to recharge a semi-truck. He's saying that from the time a guy goes into the truck stop to get a cup of coffee or use the restroom, to the time he comes back out, it should be fully recharged. And hey, I mean, even if it's twice that, it's 16 minutes. That's phenomenal. So I just want to reiterate from what I said on the last video, the Hyliion solution is the best solution for trucking. You're just not going to be able to haul 80,000 pound combined vehicle and payload cross country without having to stop every 400 or 500 miles with a full EV truck. So the solution of a hybrid where you have a generator on board and that which is constantly or charging as it needs to, the battery pack is the solution. And their range is, I think it's 1,300 plus miles, which blows away Tesla, blows away Nikola. The cost of compressed natural gas, which is what the generator will run on, is much cheaper than any hydrogen solution's ever going to be, at least in the next probably, I would say 20 years. Hydrogen's just not going to be a player for quite a while. I think we'll start to see it out there in 10 years, but as far as it ever becoming competitive with the CNG and full electrics, I don't see it happening for a good long while, if ever. If ever, guys. I mean, I'm seriously, the amount of energy it takes to make the hydrogen, to compress the hydrogen, to transfer it into these trucks, it really, frankly, doesn't make sense. And there was an interview once I saw of Elon Musk, and he basically said that it's just not an option, in his opinion. And he's a lot smarter guy than I am. I know it might be hard to believe, but I'm pretty sure he is. And I totally believe him. I think not only that, but a complete new infrastructure would have to be built nationwide to support hydrogen trucks. Now, of course, I'm all for it, and I'd love to see it, but they're going to have to bring in some new technology for it to be viable. And also, they're going to have to make sure that the energy that they use to create the hydrogen and compress it into liquid form is going to have to be renewable energy. It's going to have to be solar, it's going to have to be wind. Because if you go to the grid and just pull off of coal-powered electricity, coal-generated electricity, you've just gone, 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. So, in our immediate future, guys, I think Hyliion's solution will be the first big rigs we see on the truck or see on the highways. And Teslas will probably be right in there with Hyliions, but you're not going to see Teslas, with team driver situations driving cross country. They're going to be more just inner city trucks, I believe, or maybe from one city to the other if they're close by. For example, I don't know, San Jose to San Francisco or LA to San Jose, something like that. But you're just not going to see the Tesla trucks running cross country effectively, I think, until they get the batteries in those trucks that can go, at least 1,000 miles. Because when you have team driving, two people in a truck, basically living in the truck and keeping that truck running almost 24 hours a day, they can't be pulling over every 500 miles for a recharge. And I'm pretty sure the Tesla batteries take quite a bit longer than 8 or 10 minutes to recharge. I don't recall what Elon had said about that. And, of course, what he might say today could change drastically by the time those trucks actually hit the road, because their battery technology is constantly evolving, constantly getting better. So, and I'm sure the same is true for Hyliion and all the other EV companies out there. There's constantly new developments coming forward in the EV battery industry. And so eventually the batteries will probably be capable of traveling unassisted for a lot longer than we could even imagine right now. But at current level of technology, to get long distance hauls, it requires a generator. And of course regenerative braking is also helpful. And they may even start mounting solar tiles or solar panels on the roofs of these trucks, which might help a little bit. They might gain another, 50 miles a day or something from that. And it all adds up. So hey, why not? But I think that a lot of people are poo-pooing Hyliion as not a good stock. I've loaded up. I've got 1,300 shares right now. We're kind of in a current market correction, and the price of Hyliion's down around $16, I think. And I've had some comments saying that my videos aren't aging well. Well, yeah, that's true. But I'd never ever said this was a stock to trade in and out of. This is a long-term hold, and by long-term, I don't mean 6 months. I don't mean a year. I mean 5 years, 10 years. That's long-term. And I think you'll be handsomely rewarded in that period of time. Just like Tesla has. It floundered for years before it finally started to gain popularity and take off. And so we could have a very similar situation with Hyliion. It could be really, as Tesla is to cars, EV cars, Hyliion could be for trucks. So I think it's a great stock. I have a lot of faith in their CEO, Thomas Healy. I can just tell by watching him in his interviews. He's a straight shooter. No hype, no fluff. He's not trying to blow smoke. He's just telling it exactly like it is, and I admire that. So check out his interview on JMac's channel, and there's other recent videos about the Hyliion stocks too. I highly recommend you check them out. There's some really good ones. I don't have the time to do all the research that some of these other folks do. They're a lot better at it than I am. But I can share with you what I've seen as of late, and if you just check out and search for Hyliion stock information, just pick some of the newer videos. There's a lot of information there that's really positive. So that's all I've got for now. But check it out, guys, and good luck. Hope we all can make some money on this. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.